Hi, and welcome to What's Cooking Cranford. I'm Miraz, and I'm joined today by Maria Tisdale, the owner of Cheese Please. Thank you so much for coming.
Hi, Miraz. It's nice to be here.
So, Maria, you've been a downtown business owner for 5 years. That's amazing.
Yes.
How are things going?
It's great. Things are going great. You know, the store is great. Our little cafe area is very busy. We're doing soups, we're doing salads. Our catering has gotten very, very busy with the holidays. We're now doing charcuterie platters. We're doing new cheese assortments. We have an all-Italian assortment that we're now sharing with everybody. And in addition to that, we have expanded into farmers markets. So you can catch us at a couple winter markets until the spring. And we're also filling cases in wine stores. So there are a couple wine stores in Union County that if you're not able to get into Cheese Please, you can pick up your favorites there.
Wow, that sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I love walking into your shop. I feel like it's so personable and it's very unintimidating, which sometimes I find some cheese shops can be a little intimidating.
Right. Well, those that know us know that that's probably the last thing that we could be is intimidating, even if we tried to be. My whole goal in opening up Cheese Please, coming from a professional food background, was education. I was a chef for 27 years working in different kitchens, in restaurants. A lot of people know I worked for the Benedictine Sisters for 14 years and wrote a cookbook. And that whole time I always found outlets for teaching and for sharing information. So when I opened up a cheese shop, I wanted it to be a place where people could come who knew nothing about the different kinds of cheeses like I did when I first started, and could ask questions, could taste through different cheeses, could ask why blue cheese is blue cheese, could ask what's the difference between a goat's milk cheese and a cow's milk cheese, which to a cheesemonger seems pretty elemental. But people don't realize that you make cheese from the milk of different animals. And it kind of is a step process to learn that. So it's been fun.
So maybe you can educate our viewers today a little bit about all the different cheeses and all that fun stuff.
Okay, great. So I brought examples of the 5 basic types of cheese. So when you're building a cheese plate, you always start with your soft and creamy cheese. So that would be in the fresh cheese category. So we have a goat's milk cheese from France. That's a fresh chèvre. We have other different, mozzarella is a fresh cheese. There's several different varieties of fresh cheeses that you could try. And these are cheeses that are made and consumed within about a month of their being processed. So, you know, if it's a cheese from France, it comes to us pretty quickly. We also try to bring in locally made cheeses so that you can try different varieties of fresh cheeses that you wouldn't be able to because they come from Europe. The second type of cheese is the bries, the bloomy rinded cheeses. So these are cheeses that can be made from cow's milk, goat's milk, sheep's milk, and they are allowed to form a very downy rind around the wheel of cheese. A lot of people ask if that's edible. It absolutely is edible.
I was just going to ask you that.
And it's part of the cheese tasting experience. The cheesemaker spends a lot of time kind of figuring out the right temperature and humidity to age his cheeses at so he gets that beautiful downy rind on it. The third type of cheese is your wash-drying cheeses, and we have an example here from Italy. This is Taleggio. You can always tell a wash-drying cheese by the color of the rind. It tends to be orange or pink. It's a cheese that is washed every day in a liquid as it ages, which allows the rind to stay soft and tacky, and it becomes quite odoriferous. So this would be your stinky category of cheeses. They might smell bad, but they taste wonderful. The fourth type of cheese is your pressed curd cheeses. These are cheeses like cheddar, Swiss, cheeses that have a very fine texture. And once the curds are put into a mold, they actually use a weight to press as much whey as they can out of the curds. And then they're aged for, 5, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. There are cheddars that are aged over 20 years. It's kind of a contest between cheesemakers who can make these aged cheeses. And then the fifth type of cheese is your blue cheese. So these are your basic cheeses. These are cow's milk, sheep's milk, and goat's milk. And the cheeses are allowed to be inoculated with a mold. And this mold forms the bluing in the cheeses. The original blue cheeses only come from the Roquefort Caves in France and the Gorgonzola area of Italy. So whenever you have a blue cheese, there are only these two types of blues.
Okay, wow, that's a lot of information, but great information.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and visiting us here at What's Cooking Cranford. We really appreciate all of what you do for the town. And for our viewers, if you're interested in learning about different stories, please follow us at Tap Into Cranford. Thank you.